FM 92.6, The Breakfast Show. Now, I'm sure you know this. It is now Woordfeest time. And there's amazing stuff happening on campus throughout this week. So there's obviously musical performances. I had the privilege of being out and about last night. And I know a lot of people are right involved in terms of all of that. So we have an amazing human being here this morning. And I want to introduce her, Heidi October, or October. It is October, it's not October.
It is October with a C.
Just checking. We're going to be chatting in terms of your Student Weekly. I apologize, my computer seems to have completely messed out and lost everything I have. And now we're sorted. There we go.
Correct.
So, let me introduce you correctly. You are the Deputy Director of the Center for Student Leadership and Structures and the head of the FVZS Leadership Institute. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Oh, it is the best kind of morning. It is Wednesday, so it's only right that we get involved in these specific conversations during Woordfeest.
Absolutely.
And I have heard many conversations on campus, especially leadership. It's a powerful space that we're in, and it's only just that we to have these kinds of conversations. So my question to you, we have this discourse series throughout Woordfeest. What are the kind of discussions that you are having?
Okay, so this year again, we've partnered with the Alumni Office, which is a great partnership because they support our view that we can have a lot of student engagement conversations on campus, but we're missing the intergenerational link. And from that perspective, we partnered with the Alumni Office to also bring in the other generations to the topics that we would like to explore together.
Yeah.
So we've decided together that this year, apart from being election year, there are a couple of hot topics in higher education, specifically for students. And we've narrowed it down to 3 for this FVZS Discourse Series. The first one last night focused on political engagement and youth in South Africa. Why are some of our youth just not engaged at all and not interested at all, not even to vote? And on the other side, we see young people embracing active citizenship, and they flourish. And how do you combine that too? And is it your right not to vote? And the question or the answer to that is simple: yes, it is your right. Can it be constructive? That's debatable. And we had a powerful conversation last night. Different perspectives with a full house. We had Farai Mubaya, we had Luandu Nkamisa, and we had Peter Tatue, a political journalist. And it was interesting from that 3 different perspectives how they also viewed their participation, from a student who's actively engaged in politics to a former alumna, Farai, who feels that you don't have to follow sort of a structured political path to sort of create new opportunities in South Africa. And she's a very good example of somebody who really embraced active citizenship.
And it's certainly topical in terms of being a young person at university. And I also get quite baffled with people who aren't aware of the political situation of the country. And then you get a person like Luando I spent many hours with last year, and an amazing human being who tends to understand everyone else's points of view. So it's great to bring in different kind of conversations. And what's your aim with this in terms of going along with these conversations?
I think our aim at the Fredo van Zyl Slabbert, which is at the Center for Student Leadership, our mandate is quite clear. It's twofold. On the one hand, we offer accredited leadership short courses, which will then go on to your academic transcript, which is the more formalized way of leadership engagement. And then we've identified another portfolio for us, which is a critical engagement, where we want students to work with us in co-creating new forms of engagement, from critical engagement to constructive engagement, where we identify topics not just related to Stellenbosch University, but really as a South African, as a global citizen. And how do we change the rhetoric from I see a gap in a system and I need to see the change, to a way of reflecting on what can I contribute positively to this change that I sort of anticipate or that I want to see. And this kind of collaboration and engagement also brings the question to how, as young people today, and I'm sort of counting myself in that, how do we, as South African staff members and students, how do we support each other in understanding what conversation is about, from listening, active listening, to the ability to reflect critically on your point of view, and then moving that conversation to say, okay, we've identified 5 themes now, possible themes, and I'm just sort of thinking out loud. How can we move from what we've identified now to what is relevant in our space, and who are our allies? How can we use our collective agency then to move forward?
I think that's amazing. I think, like I say, I mean, I harp on the fact that you're willing to bring in people from the alumni and from different arenas, because you have these kind of conversations with your friends, like especially
absolutely,
and you always kind of feel like, I don't know if I agree with that part. There's some parts I agree with, and you're kind of providing that almost that group that allows you to have that freedom of conversation. Now, I want to ask you this, because actually I want to come to one now. Okay. Where does the Discourse Series take place, and is it open to all students, or is it a specific
It's open to all students, members of the public. It's free. It's every night. So tonight it's 5:30 again at the Visual Arts Quad. Tonight we're focusing on social integration in higher education. What is lovely about tonight's panel is we've got representatives from the University of the Free State. We've invited the rector of the Free State to join us, Professor Francis Peterson. We have Professor Pamela Dube, who is the vice rector student development at the University of Cape Town. And then we've got, from a student perspective side, also representing Stellenbosch University to share her views, Carly van Wyk. And I think what is lovely about tonight's topic is that we will have 3 different higher education institutions in South Africa. And with that, we have a panel which I think will also bring their personal experiences and lived experiences in higher education from the different spaces that they come from. And questioning, what is social integration? Are we only focusing on race? Bringing in gender, sexual orientation? Are we bringing in language, religion? And if we bring in all these different variables of a portfolio for our student community, when will we ever reach a point where we say we are completely socially integrated?
Yes.
Who makes that call? And should there be a time frame?
No, it's
going to be exciting.
No, it sounds exciting, because, like I say, if you bring in all those different variables, it actually becomes a bigger task than just race, just gender. You know, people throw these terms around like they're easy to deal with, but they're definitely not. Heidi, I want to thank you so much for this morning. I really do feel inspired as an active citizen in the world, and I hope you have a lovely day and good luck for the conversation.
Well, thank you for having me. Look forward to seeing you tonight.
Yeah, I will be there.
And tomorrow night,
and the next night.
No, only tomorrow night is the last.
But can I go there and just stand and look pretty?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll try my best. I'll get my makeup done, everything. Thank you so much, Heidi. We'll tap into some more lekker music. Don't forget also the newsletter, student newsletter comes out today. So do check your emails this afternoon. It'll update you on everything at the university.